Hi, friends, and welcome to Raising the Shield. From National Tractor Pullers Association headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, I'm John Dunlap.
And I'm Darren Heartwell. It's great to be with you.
In this edition, we'll preview the pullers and events that are part of the NTPA's Grand National Modified Mini Circuit for 2022. We'll briefly recap the 2021 season and take a long look at the 2022 schedule. But first, let's introduce the GN registered competitors. Those whose names are underlined have been accepted into the NTPA's free entry program and have committed to attend all appearances of their division. Those in yellow are new to the Premier Level circuit.
All right, leading off our list of Grand National competitors, out of Litchfield, Kentucky, Chase Richardson with the Vibrator. Chase was our Grand National runner-up in 2021 and finished third in 2019. Really started to come on strong. They started a new engine program, the Uncle Dave's Motorsports team, and really came on strong at the end of last year. So next up, Sam McCrary out of Prospect, Ohio with the Carbon Copy. He won in Chapel Hill on Friday night last year. Had a strong showing at the first time he ran the entire Grand National circuit. Next up, longtime competitor Bruce Slaw out of Zeeland, Michigan with the Show No Mercy quarter scale. He won the Mack Trailers Winter Nationals in Louisville in March of this year and is a former Grand National champion in the modified division. His best finishes last year were second in Toma and a second in Napoleon, Ohio. Next up, another tractor from the Uncle Dave Motorsports team, CJ Grassick out of Litchfield, Kentucky with the Pile Driver. He finished the season strong with a runner-up finish at the last regular season hook in Wauseon. And next, the Kester Racing team, Adam Kester with the Beast of Burden, and Adam will also be driving the Footloose this season. Adam's best Grand National finish with the Beast of Burden was a second in Fort Recovery, and his best Grand National finish was 8th with the Footloose. Now, his dad, Larry, won 3 titles on that tractor in 2001, 2006, and 2008. And Adam won a Grand National title in 2007 with the Double Play. Now, the third tractor is the Walk the Line, piloted by Ron Toby Tobin out of Huntingburg, Indiana. Toby was a crew person for the Kester Racing team for many years and used to drive, took a couple decade hiatus and came back and returned to the seat last year and did very well. His top finish was a 4th in Rockwell, Iowa in session 1. Speaking of Iowa, next up with 2 tractors, the Cowboy Up, and we'll see him later on with the Iron Toy, Adam Bauer. He had a Grand National win last year on the Cowboy Up in Chapel Hill. He was the 2012 NTPA Grand National champion, won championships in 3 modified divisions in the same season, and overall has won championships in 4 divisions, the Minis, the Light Unlimited Modifieds, and the Unlimiteds, and has 10 Grand National championships overall. Next up on our list is Tyler Slaw out of Zeeland, Michigan with the Have No Mercy. We talked about his dad, Bruce, earlier on. Tyler's best finish was a 2nd in Chapel Hill in session 2. Now, Tyler and Bruce, their minis are set up a little bit differently. They sit very far forward, basically right over the engine on these tractors, and this setup has worked very well for them over the years. Next on our list, out of Kennedyville, Maryland, with the Very Little Sanity, Brian McDonald. This was a brand new modern machine chassis for 2021 and a new class for Brian. He's a longtime two-wheel drive competitor. He had 3 wins on the Grand National circuit. He swept at Fort Recovery and then won a few weeks later in Wellington, Ohio. Kimberly Kwame comes to us out of Rosemount, Minnesota with the well-oiled machine. Her best finish was a 2nd in Rockwell in session 1. Led for most of that class, just a great pass there in Rockwell, Iowa. Next up, Haley Carrender with 2 entries. This one is called the Outlaw, and then she also has a brand new tractor coming out for 2022. Haley had a good, solid Grand National rookie year in 2021. Her new tractor will be called Hurricane Haley. Next, Keith Hurst out of Ansonia, Ohio, the Red Fox. Keith is a 2nd-generation puller on this legendary tractor. His dad, Denny, won several Grand National championships with this tractor. Keith's best finish in 2021 was a 6th in Toma in Session 3. Another longtime competitor in the mini modified division is Rick Peters out of Thornville, Ohio with the Buckeye Special. He's a 6-time Enderley pull-off winner in the mini modified division. His best finish in 2021 was a 10th in Wauseon. Gene Zeltner brings the one piece at a time out of Bowling Green, Ohio. His hometown is home of the biggest tractor pull in the world, the National Tractor Pulling Championships. Gene's best finish was a 12th in Wellington. Brett Berg has a brand new tractor out on the mini modified division for 2022, the North American Trailer Tractor. Brett Berg out of Farmington, Minnesota. He debuted this tractor inside earlier this year. He's a 5-time Grand National champion in the modified division. Took a few-year break from the minis and is back out for this year. Some new competitors to our mini modified division at the Grand National level are Brian and Jeff Guza out of Taylor, Wisconsin with Grandpa's Disaster. They were the 2021 Region 3 modified champions. They won the hook in Rockwell, Iowa at the Grand National level. That was their first Grand National win. Took the win on the last hook of the class. Another familiar name now in the mini modified division, the Little Bear out of Port Clinton, Ohio, Jeff Hurt. So Jeff is a 2nd-generation puller, grew up pulling super stock tractors, still pulling in the super stock open division, and added a mini modified to the stable. Another team that added a mini modified to the stable is the Theobald family out of Shelbyville, Indiana, the Lil Wicked. So Grant will be behind the wheel. Grant's been driving one of the family's 2-wheel drives for the past several seasons. Recent high school graduate, heading to Purdue University for college, and looking forward to making a splash with the mini modified division.
Thanks, Darren. And now let's recap the 2021 season of NTPA Championship Pulling in Mini. Within recent memory, Jason Hathaway won 2 in a row with a pair of Hunkin' Donkeys, and Adam Bauer won 3 straight with Iron Toy and Cowboy Up. But no driver-vehicle combination had repeat modified mini titles in over a decade and a half, when Lee Swift and Mr. Thundermaker claimed 4 straight ending in 2005. That streak looked pretty safe in Toma, where defending champion Ken Veeney's Funny Little Farmall staggered out of the gate in 18th. 2 weeks later, Veeney seemed merely to salvage respectability in Rockwell with a 7th. But it started clicking for Ken in Chapel Hill, where his 3rd place finishes to first-time winner Sam McCrary's Carbon Copy and DeBauer's Cowboy propelled him into a point lead he would hold for another month. In Fort Recovery, Brian McDonald's all-new Very Little Sanity went psycho and crushed the class both nights, while Veeney was 3rd and then 4th. But Ken's Little Farmall came up big in Napoleon, edging Bruce Slaw's quarter-scale Show No Mercy, which had risen to 2nd. Chase Richardson had 2 winner's circle appearances in Bowling Green with Vibrator to wrest the standings advantage away from Veeney, and Chase kept that pace through a 4th place in Wellington, where Veeney was 3rd to cut the margin to 2. But 2/3 of the way through the class in Wauseon, Farmall plowed the whole field under at 359 feet, with Richardson's teammate C.J. Grassick and pile driver the closest at a yard away. When the dust settled, a 4th Grand National trophy belonged to Ken and Rona and their modified, unlimited, and mini Farmalls. Now, Darren, let's take a look at the past performances of pullers in this highly competitive division.
So, recent results in Hutchinson, Minnesota. Adam Bauer with the Cowboy Up has an average finish of 2.2 in 6 appearances. And Kimberly Kwame with the Well-Oiled Machine has an average finish of 3rd with 1 appearance.
C.J. Grassick finished 3rd in his 1 appearance in Toma before the rains came last year, when Keith Horst and his Red Fox finished 6th.
In Chapel Hill, Sam McCrary with the Carbon Copy has a average finish of 2.5 in 2 appearances. Adam Bauer with Cowboy Up, an average finish of 7.9 in 9 appearances.
They were all chasing Brian McDonald to no avail last year with his Very Little Sanity. He swept the weekend in Fort Recovery, while Carbon Copy of Sarah McCrary finished with an average of 3.5.
Kimberly Kwame did well in Rockwell, finishing 2nd in 1 appearance with the Well-Oiled Machine, and Adam Bauer doing well in his home state, an average finish of 3rd with Cowboy Up in 7 appearances.
Love finished second in Napoleon last year in his one appearance there, and Ryan McDonald finished third.
In Bowling Green at the National Tractor Pulling Championships, Brian McDonald with very little sanity has an average finish of 7.5 in 2 appearances, and Adam Kester with Walk the Line has an average finish of 8.2 in 9 appearances.
And McDonald's hot streak continued to Wellington at the Lorain County Fair's Friday Night Spectacular last year, while Sam McCrary finished second.
In Wauseon, CJ Grassick drove the pile driver to a second place finish, his best of the year, a good way to end the season. And Adam Bauer is averaging a finish of 2.7 in 3 appearances with Cowboy Up.
So to wrap this edition of Raising the Shield, let's go through the summer calendar and highlight the events that will feature the Grand National Modified Mini Class.
They kick off their season at the Power Pole Nationals in Hutchinson, Minnesota on June 17th and 18th.
And they move on to Tomah, Wisconsin and the Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals Thursday through Saturday, June 23rd through 25th.
Then they head west to the Wild West Grand Nationals in Dodge City, Kansas, July 8th and 9th.
Then back to the familiar confines of Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and Lions Motorsports Park for the Super Bowl of the South, July 22nd and 23rd.
Then they head to the legendary venue, Fort Recovery, Ohio, for the Fort Recovery Grand Nationals, July 29th and 30th at Ambassador Park.
On a new weekend this year in Chamber Acres, it's the North Iowa Nationals in Rockwell, Iowa, August 4th through 6th.
Then a one-hook event at the Henry County Fair Pull in Napoleon, Ohio.
And their tour of the Buckeye State continues at the National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green, August 18th through 20th.
And staying with that Ohio theme, they move to the Friday Night Spectacular in Wellington, Ohio on August 26th.
And they'll wrap the season, as always, in Wauseon, Ohio on Friday, September 2nd for the M.E. Miller Tire Tri-State Showdown. And remember, the entire NTPA schedule plus event results and championship point standings are kept up to date at the association's official website, ntpapull.com. We'll see you next time.